are Happy Good Luck bats, designed by me, Michael LaFosse, and this is a demonstration of wet folding. You can see these are quite solid. The paper was very thick and is only foldable after it's been moistened with water. Here's the difference. Dry paper, moist paper. I begin by folding in half to get the center line. And now I'm breaking up the shape into simple triangles. Because the paper is moist, I want to use the pads of my fingers to be able to do the folding, not the edge of my thumbnail, which could scar the paper. The paper feels like soft leather in my hands. And it's best to work off the table when wet folding. That's because you want to control the balance. And gravity is actually a friend here. If I hold the paper a certain way, the soft paper can hang downward, and that helps for me to control the shape. The creases are also part of it because I'm using edges and crease lines to help me break up the shape into the geometry that I need for the wings for the bat. This is a series of mountain and valley folds, and they're very descriptive. The valley folds dent in like a valley, and the mountain folds are raised like mountain ridges. That's how a fan is made. And it's very appropriate for the wings of a bat. As I'm folding, the paper is actually drying out on me, but it's happening slowly enough that I will be able to finish the project without adding more water. Here now, I'm going to fold in to make scalloped edges at the bottom of the wings. Right now, it won't be very obvious because the wings are not open. And in fact, it's best for me to control the shape by keeping it under control with closed forms like this. Wet folding is an advanced style and technique, and its popularity in origami began with the origami master Akira Yoshizawa from Tokyo. He pioneered this form of folding. This style allows you to fold smooth, graceful shapes. But even if you were making a geometric style and you did wet folding, you actually have an additional benefit, and that is that the wet fibers are being bent, not snapped in half. When you dry fold paper, you're actually breaking the fibers and you're decreasing the strength of the sheet. But wet folding doesn't do that. I'm now going to form the bat's head. I'm using landmarks that I've created for this model, which give the best proportions. And it's the little details like this arm, this upper arm here, that also make a difference. When designing a new piece of origami, one must not only consider the geometry, but what's left over to shape. So when I designed this bat, I wanted to make sure that there were areas that were simple and large enough for me to put the rounded details. That's what brings it to life. There's the upper lip and the nose. And now I'm going to fold the arms and separate them from the body, like this. The first stage of making this bat actually forms a bat that's roosting, or in other words, hanging upside down for rest or sleep. Here comes an ear. In origami, we need not use any scissor cuts or tearing. The geometry allows us to get appendages, flaps, and areas to form without any of that cutting. Look, there are ears. I didn't have to use scissors. Here would be a roosting bat. But let's make the flying version. With the aid of a Japanese-style chopstick, I'm going to open the mouth. And I call it the happy good luck bat because these are smiling bats. The good luck part comes from the Chinese tradition of a bat being a symbol of good luck and good fortune. I'm going to shape the ears now a little bit with just a little tweak to make them face forward. And the bat's thumbs curved inward like a little hook around the end of the Japanese hashi or chopstick. There are the thumbs and the cute little ears. And now we open the mouth again just a little bit. And the wings. Nice sweeping curves. The soft paper is letting me handle the folded edges gracefully, like this, just a slight sweeping curve. And when this paper dries, it's going to be hard like a piece of wood. And that's because this type of paper, and many kinds of paper like it, have a glue-like substance embedded in the paper. It's called size. It makes the paper water resistant and it stiffens it up. If it's water reversible, like the paper that I'm using, well, when it's wet, it's soft, and when it's dry, it hardens back up again. And there is a wet folded happy good luck bat. You'll get a little bit more tweaking as it dries, just to make sure the shapes are final. Like that. Happy good luck bats.